rumors about Dr. Umar Johnson allegedly being arrested, all because he been scamming and scheming for the past 20 years. He been working on building a school, but he acquired millions and the school's still not up and running.
Now,
So the FBI just shattered Dr. Umar's empire after hitting him with a wave of new federal charges that could put him behind bars for decades. We're talking RICO, tax fraud and wire fraud, the kind of charges that end careers for good. And the wildest part? The feds claim they've got receipts that trace directly back to the donations Dr. Umar collected in the name of building his school. Now, Dr. Umar is reportedly panicking because this time, he can't just talk his way out of it. And at this point, everyone's asking the same question. Is Dr. Umar a fraud, or has he been set up?
to IRS Form 990. The filings reveal disturbing financial irregularities, okay, with Jermaine Shermark. That's how he files it. He doesn't file it under Dr. Umar Shermark. It's Jermaine, okay?
Before we get into these charges, we first have to talk about the moment Dr. Umar realized he was getting locked up. Because he did not take it well, he recently went live on Instagram and launched into a fiery rant about how the system is trying to bring down an innocent black man who's just trying to do good for his community. In typical Dr. Umar fashion, he was passionate, loud, and emotional, painting himself as the victim. But this time it felt different. He wasn't just angry. He looked shaken, like someone who had just gone through a traumatic experience. And the things he said during that live weren't his usual talking points. He started ranting about his bank accounts being frozen, which now makes perfect sense, because those same accounts are reportedly tied to the federal fraud case that could land him in prison for decades.
Bank told me to enter my 16-digit card number. I did that. They told me they had no record of my...
Fans didn't know it at the time, but they would later find out that Dr. Umar recorded that video right after being told by the feds to turn himself in. If you look closely, you can actually see the moment he realized his entire grift was about to crumble. According to reports, Dr. Umar eventually did report himself to the authorities, but not before making sure his inner circle knew to keep things quiet. No photos, no statements, no press releases, nothing. Just a silent surrender, because he knew that if the story blew up, things could get ugly fast. And that was his biggest fear. The world finally seeing him for the scammer he really is. But what he didn't know then was that the feds were about to leak a set of documents that would expose him for good. Now here's where things get even crazier. Just as Dr. Umar was trying to sweep his arrest and RICO case under the rug, Tasha K entered the chat. And you already know, and when Tasha K shows up, she brings receipts. In a recent YouTube video, Tasha K broke down Dr. Umar's situation piece by piece, revealing the truth about what he's really been doing with his so-called charity organization. She started by exposing the so-called school he's been collecting donations for, and here's why that matters. The FBI's indictment lists those missing donations as evidence in the fraud and racketeering charges. And Tasha K didn't just throw around gossip. She brought cold, hard facts. According to her, Dr. Umar has been skimming money from the donated funds for personal use. Not only that, but he's also refused to account for all the donations, just to avoid paying taxes. And that's exactly why the feds are after him now. Listen closely as she breaks it all down, because the numbers tell a story that's impossible to ignore.
Filings reveal disturbing financial irregularities, okay, with Jermaine Shermark. That's how he files it. He doesn't file it under Dr. Umar Shermark. It's Jermaine, okay? Now, the nonprofit shows assets of $630.
For context, Dr. Umar has been collecting donations to build and open this school for years. And it's not like he already had some of his own money and just needed a little help from the public. No. Every single dime that's gone into this project has come directly from the people. As if that isn't bad enough. Dr. Umar has never been transparent about how much he's received in contributions or what the funds are actually being used for. All he does is hop online, preaching aggressively and demanding that African Americans abandon the public school system to support his so-called institution instead. Now, a lot of people saw this crowdsourcing for what it really was, a grift. Even the name of the school was a red flag. Dr. Umar has publicly claimed to be a descendant of Frederick Douglass, even though he's never provided proof. In fact, the Douglass family themselves have never recognized him as one of their own, but not everyone caught on. Many supporters truly believed in his mission and donated their hard-earned money to the cause. Yet somehow, after all these years, the school still isn't open. Every time an opening date approaches, something conveniently goes wrong. Coincidence? Maybe. But given everything that's coming out about Dr. Umar now, it's starting to look like he's the one manufacturing these delays. The most recent delay raised even more eyebrows, and prosecutors are now using it as evidence in his federal fraud case. Back in June, Dr. Umar claimed that the school had been vandalized, resulting in damage to the library, cultural artifacts, and educational supplies. But strangely enough, the building's structure was completely untouched. It was just bad enough to give him an excuse for another delay, conveniently pushing the opening back yet again. To sell the story even more, Dr. Umar posted a video of himself interrogating a group of kids, accusing them of vandalizing the school. But here's the kicker. He did it without the consent of their parents.
Side of the building in which he lives in, because they say his house is right there on a row house in Philadelphia somewhere, okay? According to the IRS filings, this is inconsistent reporting of contributions, okay? Now, while official filings show that only $321,408 in total contributions over the last 5 years, evidence suggests Johnson raised significantly more.
Even the police couldn't figure out what really happened. And the only so-called evidence we have that any vandalism took place is that short little clip Dr. Umar posted online.
People started getting skeptical, and people started always coming to me, man, what's up with Umar? You and Umar in y'all school. Hey, I don't have, hey, no, y'all school. No, it's not y'all school. No, but you had them in your movies. They just tie me in, and I can't. I said, look, to be honest, I don't think the school is happening. I said this about
And if we're being real, that clip didn't look like something serious enough to postpone the school's opening for an entire year. Something just didn't add up, and people had a lot of questions. One viral comment pretty much summed up how everyone felt about the situation. Where's the proof of this so-called damage? Show us the vandalism. Were you insured? Why haven't you posted even one clear image of the supposed destruction? Or is the real vandalism you and this entire project? Also, as someone familiar with the banking system, your story about your accounts being frozen makes no sense. It wasn't until a few weeks later that the truth behind this mysterious vandalism and the school delay finally came out. And when it did, Dr. Umar couldn't even defend himself, because it became clear this was exactly why he was under investigation. It turned out Dr. Umar had been failing to pay vacant property registration fees and utility bills. As a result, the building was on the verge of being auctioned off. In fact, reports revealed that the property was set to be auctioned by August 25, 2025 if he didn't pay up. So, what did Dr. Umar do? He went on the defensive as usual. He claimed the fees were punitive and discriminatory, insisting the state was trying to force him to shut down the school. Then he tried to score sympathy points by claiming he was being targeted unfairly, once again begging his followers for more donations. According to Tasha K., Dr. Umar used these tactics to stall and avoid jail time. But if you
Pan-Africanism, brothers and sisters, I'm back again. While I was on the live, the children had snuck into the school, which means they knew the door was unlocked. Listen to me, brothers and sisters. For children to know that a door is opened, and I was only away from the school for
These tactics worked for a long time, until more and more people started asking Dr. Umar the questions he couldn't answer. For example, Charleston White recently put him on blast for preying on black women through emotional blackmail. He revealed that Dr. Umar constantly panders to women, making himself seem like an ally of the black community, when in reality, all he wants is their money.
They've been on it, and that's the reason why that damn school is on the auction block right now, vacant school that never opened. And he promised to open it in 2013 and kept pushing back the opening date and blamed us, well, not me, y'all, if y'all donated, as to why it can't open, because black people can't stick together, okay? Even though he was.
Unfortunately, Charleston White wasn't wrong. Dr. Umar parades himself as a lover and ally of black women, even going as far as criticizing men like Jonathan Majors for dating white women. But the moment those same women question him, he turns around and insults them. The craziest part of all this is that it's not just his critics calling him out anymore. It's the very people who used to stand by him. Former supporters have started pulling their donations. demanding accountability and quietly unfollowing him on social media. Some have even gone public, labeling him a fraud and potential criminal. One name that shocked everyone was Tariq Nasheed, a close friend and longtime ally of Dr. Umar. During an interview with DJ Vlad, Tariq didn't hold back. He admitted that at first he truly believed in Umar's school project. And that's key because even Umar's closest allies are now backing up the FBI's claims that this was never about education. It was about fraud. Tariq explained that it was supposed to be a Pan-African dream. He even donated a significant amount of money himself. But his faith started to fade when Dr. Umar began chasing social media fame, getting lost in drama and conspiracy theories. The final straw came when Tariq tried to warn him, and Umar turned on him. Throughout the interview, you could see it in Tariq's face, that slow realization that Dr. Umar might not be the revolutionary he claimed to be, but just another scammer hiding behind the movement.
About a decade ago, I was for it. I donated to it. And a lot of people, every time Umar does something, they would tie me in.
Really?
Oh, they would always tie me in.
I've never heard about this.
They would always tie anything he did. Hey, Tariq, what's up with Umar? Because I put Umar on. He wanted to use that notoriety.
But that's not all, because it turns out Dr. Umar has been on the FBI's radar for a long time. He just didn't realize he was already being watched. Interestingly, the first major strike against him had nothing to do with money. Back in 2018, the State Board of Psychology accused Dr. Umar of practicing without a license. And that wasn't just embarrassing. It exposed a pattern of deception the FBI is now using to prove he's been running scams for years. Of course, Umar denied everything, claiming he was being targeted. He said his Facebook and GoFundMe accounts were shut down for no reason, and went on his usual rants, playing the victim, just like always. And for a while, people bought it, but the receipts told a different story. There are dozens of videos online of Dr. Umar acting like a licensed psychologist, giving therapy advice, and using his so-called expertise to manipulate followers into donating even more money. As many of you might remember, he even self-published a book called Psycho-Academic Holocaust, The Special Education and ADHD Wars Against Black Boys, arguing that black kids were being misdiagnosed as part of a racist agenda. Then, years later, he went online claiming that ADHD and mental illness weren't even real. So when he tried to deny practicing psychology, it only proved one thing: he's been lying all along, and maybe even running schemes that could actually harm people. And once the feds started digging, they uncovered what looks like a trail of scams: the fake school, the frozen accounts, and those bogus doctor credentials. Every move he made, every lie he told, is now Exhibit A in a federal case. The feds aren't backing down. His supporters are walking away. And with the receipts piling up by the day, one thing's for sure: Dr. Umar isn't walking back into that so-called academy anytime soon.